One.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers and non-gamers, welcome to another episode of the StarCrossed Gamers podcast. I am I am Johnny,
And I am BaronJ67.
and you are gonna have yourself some fun with us today. So, Baron, how you doing?
Man, you know what, guys? I'm actually feeling pretty good. I've been busy as hell. I actually had to come up with a legit streaming schedule, which will probably be altered again. Because I write. I don't think I was writing last time we podcasted. Maybe I was. But I write for Level 1 Gaming, LV1Gaming.com. And I create content there as well. And then, of course, I still stream here. And it's actually been really cool because I haven't experienced that big, like, boom of, oh my God, so-and-so's following you and da-da-da-da-da, and you're doing this and that. I haven't gotten to that point, but I've been getting, like, game codes sent to me. I'm qualified as like media status under a couple of different like review code websites. So now I have a little more, I guess, what's not the word, not clout, but I guess I have a little more weight to my name in terms of now I don't look so crazy requesting things. Like, hey, can I get a copy of your game? Why? Who are you? Oh, I'm a content creator. So is everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'm now a journalist.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. See, I haven't even used that word yet. I always just say writer or contributor. But I mean, I've done a game review. I've wrote like 12 articles. I've done news updates. I think I could. Now, okay, here I'll say I'm a video game writer, but I may not be a good one. That's what I'll say. I'll stick with that. Like, well, no, they say you're not supposed to speak negative on yourself. I am a video game writer. It is what I do. I write for Level 1 Gaming.
Yeah, it's this little underground thing you may not have heard of, but we're really cool and we're really good at what we do.
Right? It's what we do. We take no crap.
Yeah.
But man, so what's been new with you, Johnny?
What's been new with me? Not too much in comparison to your life. I mean, classes picked up. That's pretty much the only thing. But no, like I write for this LV1 Gaming now. But actually, hold on, I lie.
Oh.
Not yet, but I have qualified to be a Caffeine caster. That's gonna be a thing now.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna get the golden C. That's what I call it. The golden Cheerio. You're gonna get it, bro.
Yeah.
For those who are watching here on my channel, which I believe everybody here is watching, is a follower of Johnnyman117. But for those who are listening, please go to caffeine.tv/Johnnyman117. The numbers 1, 1, and 7. Make sure and go and follow him. Make sure to jump into his streams. The guy will turn everything from puzzle building to taking over Eastern Europe look like the most adventurous, craziest thing ever. Like, I've never been so entertained watching somebody put together a puzzle. I've never in my life sat and watched somebody put together a puzzle. I say this not just because he's here, but I speak highly of him anytime somebody brings up and coming streamers and asks my opinion. I talk about it all the time. Johnny is a damn good streamer, and he's gonna go far. And all he needs is a shot. He'll grab you. I mean, just give him a chance. Yeah. I'm sorry, I kind of ranted.
I mean, here I am getting all emotional. Thank you. Your kind words mean more than anything. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing. Like, assuming everything stays on track, which I don't think anything will happen. But September 24th, I think, is like when the opt-in period starts. So, bam, end of the month. That's when I'll get my golden C, and then I'll be just like my mentor, the actual best streamer. Everybody that's not listening live, go to BaronJ67 on Caffeine.tv and follow him instead. Much better content creator,
I'm
much more
okay.
energy.
I'm okay. You know what's so bad? Trying to get better at this, bro. I feel weird because I'll watch my streams and I'm like, was that 2 minutes of quiet? Was that a minute of quiet? Like, even in me being focused, I'm like, was that quiet? Like, it's so crazy because through editing and whatnot, you'll realize how much dead period you have, and it's like, holy crap, I gotta talk more. Okay, I gotta get some bounce, I gotta get some da 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 da. Because at the end of the day, for me, I want to make sure people are having a good time. I'm not a puppet, I'm not here to, because that's often what I notice, and it's usually from like the younger people who jump in. It's not that I don't get it from older people, at least people I think are older. But I'll have people jump in, oh, do this, do that, and I'm like, we're not doing
Fortnite.
yeah, like we're not doing a charity stream right now. Now, which is something I'm gonna be doing soon. I don't like putting things out there that are too far ahead, but at worst, I'll do even a real basic charity stream, nothing even crazy. But I want to do one, and I'm gonna do one. And then I'll have some crazy antics that I'll take part in. But you'll have to pay for them, like, because once again, I'm not a puppet.
Yeah.
And the payment will go to the donation or to the charity, and I think that's going to be really cool because I love charities that are centered around gaming and giving people access to gaming or even the gaming space, whether it be through content creating or game development or programming or voice acting or community outreach, and anything to do with gaming, because I care about gaming and I care about people. So when you get both worlds coming together, I think that's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
There's so much I would love to do with that. Joe, welcome.
Yeah, when I'm into the big leagues like you, I feel like that's like something I probably want to do as well. But you want to do yours for I forget what it's called. I'm so sorry, but you want to do your thing, that's fine. But the charity I want to really like work for is Wounded Warriors.
That is a good one.
Yeah, vets are just like super cool dudes. I've known a few, so and plus they have some like pretty serious issues. So
oh hell yeah,
giving to them seems
large
like
portion of our homeless.
Yeah, so anything to help them out is something I'm on board with. But yeah, any charity is a good charity.
Exactly, and that's why I want to make sure, and I'm gonna have to work with Joe, because Joe's the best on making sure we can get that done and getting it top tier, doing a charity stream on here one of these days. But yeah, see, we got people in the chat talking about how their dads are vets and whatnot, and it's dude, I mean, not to dive deep into that because that's not what today's supposed to be about. Clearly, it's about Epic Games PlanetSide 2, which we'll one day get to, maybe in the next stream. But no, you can't ignore what's real. We're grounded in reality. This is what we do. We're real people, and we got people who fought for us out there who have serious issues. And if we can do something to help them, why wouldn't we? Like, especially through what we love, which is gaming.
Absolutely.
Boom! Just sold it. No, I swear I should have sold cars.
Man, I'm convinced. Like, give me that contract.
Like, this guy, he didn't even show me the car, and I want to buy it. One thing I learned, it's crazy how people buy you. Like, people really don't buy things. Like that's why there's like so many dealerships for the same cars. Like that should tell you it's not the price competition. It's because of the different type of people.
Yeah, it's like it's like having to max out the charisma stat in a Fallout game.
Exactly. Ooh, checkpoints. Okay, can we all admit that Fallout 4 wasn't as good as the rest of the Fallouts because it lacked checkpoints or skill checks?
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
Okay,
Like,
the shooting
I will
mechanics were
agree with you
great.
on the. Yeah, I think it's on par. I don't think it's better, but it's definitely not as bad.
I this is I didn't like the fact that my stats felt pointless.
Yeah,
That's just being 100% honest. I don't know how we got to Fallout. I looked up at Fallout 4, and that's what made me say that. I have a big post. Look, you're talking to a guy who's a diehard Fallout fan. I have a pit boy that is constantly, which I don't think I've ever put on camera. It's constantly next to me. You know, I keep a pit boy ready. I don't think I've ever showed anybody this. Clearly,
I
you
think you
guys can't
have on
see it.
one occasion.
I have a pit boy. I have a store-sized banner that GameStop used to keep up in their stores for Fallout 4. I'm a fan. I just really couldn't get connected to Battlefield. I'm Battlefield to Fallout 4 as a Fallout game.
Yeah, well, it kind of felt for me like it felt like Fallout 3 to me. Like, obviously some things were watered down, but like, so
There
was
you go.
Skyrim in comparison to Oblivion.
A watered down Fallout 3. That is the perfect way I've ever heard it described. The best way I've ever heard it described.
But at the same time, it did implement one of the best features of all time in a Fallout game, a building system and
Ooh, I
settlements.
thought you were gonna say saving settlements from for the Minutemen.
Preston, oh Jesus, no. But I legit spent like my entire first character just building settlements. Like it was like that really popular meme. It's just like building up a skyscraper or something, and then one of the characters is like, Sean who?
Oh yeah,
Just like,
finding my kid. What?
nah. There's no like exclamation point or ticking timer by that quest, so I think I'm good.
Yeah, like, oh, mission accomplished. Feeding the neighborhood. We're growing our own crops. We got a good water source. We got good defense against the super muties. Like, we're good.
Exactly. It's thinking of an entire community, not just my son.
Yeah,
So
what kind of
really, I'm the
story?
better person for it. It's
Yeah.
like I'm not so self-centered.
Yeah, like game.
Oh my
Look,
gosh.
what? Like, you want me to go and save a child who's what from a free? What? I'm saving the world. But no,
Yeah,
okay,
for real.
right? Okay, so let's get to what we were going to talk about.
Massively sidetracked.
Massively sidetracked. I did not picture going that way, but we did. Now, Epic Games. For those who don't know, Epic Games is a mini up and coming empire that in 10 years is going to be at this pace is going to be competing with the likes of Apple Store, the Google Play Store, and Steam, which it's already competing with Steam.
Yeah. Well, like not majorly, but
But
they
I
are
mean,
on
I
the
just
map.
got a cool ass free game from them. I got Into the Breach today. Like, I've been wanting to play that game. I just haven't felt the need to spend the money because I've been buying so many other games, and they gave it to me for free. So
They were giving out the new Total War game for free
I
as
got
well.
that
If
day
you had
one.
an
They gave it
account.
out for 24 hours. Yep, they did that.
Yeah. I was gonna do it, but then I was just like, man, I really don't care about Epic Games enough. I don't even have an account with them. That's how bad it is.
Well, let me tell you this. Oh yeah. Oh, Hitman. Yep, Joe. We did just get Hitman Remnants, bro. They just gave out at least $100 worth of games in the past 2 weeks. Like, that alone was worthwhile me installing it. Like, I installed it just for the free games. Oh, you ended up getting GTA 5 from free? God damn.
They're after your hearts.
They're after your heart. Hey, and guess what? If a billionaire wants to make it rain on me, Epic Games, go ahead. Do what you gotta do. Like, I'm not, I'm not saying I'm gonna sell out, but I installed it and I got the free games. So did I sell out? I feel like I'm still me. Look, when's
Don't
the last
sell out
time
until they give you a sponsorship.
that? Oh, bro. Speaking of, okay, Monster Energy, Ultra Rosa, sugar-free, guilt-free energy with all the bang and pleasure. Monster. Ultra Rosa.
Hashtag not really sponsored.
Hashtag not really sponsored. Hashtag not a real ad. Hashtag, please, please give me
Please.
sponsorship.
So if we're gonna just, throw out ads just in the hopes of eventually being sponsored, let me tell you about the greatest pizza in the world, Domino's Pizza,
Bum
the
bum.
ultimate, the ultimate experience for high-end pizza dining. They got that garlic crust, something all of their competitors cannot compete with. Bam, buy
Garlic.
Domino's today.
I agree, Joe. I'm not a brand person. Competition is always best for us, always, and that's why we need. For sure, Tangito. That's why we need somebody to compete with Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto needs competition. They had it in what was that game series, Saints Row. But then Saints Row got tired of being compared to Grand Theft Auto, and they went a whole different, like, wild and wanky route. Like, they just went full left field. Bro, exactly. That's what we're gonna talk about too. That I wanted to touch on that on the 3000 series. AMD coming out and cranking out products the way they did is the exact reason why freaking Nvidia had to drop those RTX 3000 prices, which is amazing because I'm grateful I didn't get the 2080 Ti because I would have been pissed. They came out with something, I believe it's coming out in September. The 3070 is going to be $500, brand new, not used, out the box, $500, and it's going to give me double more powerful version of the 2080. A 2080 will hold you for 10 years. I mean, unless we start playing like full dive VR SAO level stuff.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, like I think about how many years I got out of my laptop, and I didn't even have 1000 series. I was still in the 900s. Like, my whole entire streaming career up until 2 months ago has been on my laptop with a 900 series graphics card. So imagine what I'm about to get out of my current 2060 Super, or what I would get out of a 3070. Crazy. Oh, exactly. So much love to the Level 1 Gaming family. Much love to those guys, because they brought out a good point. They said, if AMD can give us an answer to the 3070 new graphics card, and it's under $400, and it performs a little lower than the 3070, everybody's buying that one. They have to come out with something cheaper than $500 and almost as powerful. They have to. That's the only thing they can do. Because then if they come out with something more expensive, you're now going to be dealing with the same issue that Intel had against AMD, but now it's going to be reversed. So, Joe, you're absolutely right. And Johnny, I'm sorry I derailed the podcast a bit.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here just like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, okay, so just a quick, I kind of talked about it, but not really. So basically, this week, NVIDIA came out and did a whole conference for the new 3000 series of graphics cards. They came out with the 3070, 3080, and 3090, if I'm not mistaken. And the 3070 is going to be stronger than the 2080 Ti, which is the strongest on the market right now, from what I understand. And it's going to be stronger than that for a quarter of the price. Because before these got released, the 2080 Ti, exactly, I was just about to say that, Joe, thank you. The 2080 Ti was $1,200 by itself. That's just the graphics card, just the GPU. Now you have the 3070, which is stronger, out for $500, brand new. It instantly shifted the whole market. It, like, single-handedly. Funny enough, if they would have just released the 3070, that would have been enough. But then they released the 3080, which is 2 times as strong, and I believe that one is for $700 or $800. I want to say it's like $300 more. So $800, yeah. So it's going to be $800 and it's going to be 2 times as strong as the 2080. Now, for me, I'm not a graphics junkie. I am not a graphics junkie at all. I run my stuff on Ultra because it automatically sets to that due to my rig. So I'm not trying to hype up my rig, but that's just automatically what it does. So in saying that, if I were to upgrade, which is something I'm thinking about doing just because it's so cheap in terms of the grand scheme of things, I would only get a 3070. I can't see myself getting a 3080. Just for pure price point, $500 into a rig that I plan on keeping for 10 plus years. I think that will last me a very long time, and that will carry me into well into the end of the new console cycle, the new one that's coming up. I think it'll give me, unless we make a big technological leap in gaming, which is possible. What I would love to experience full dive technology, full VR. Like, I would really love to get to that point. What it will take to get there, maybe Elon Musk's Neuralink is the next step in that. Who knows? But maybe it's Facebook finally fully taking over Oculus and making you log in with a Facebook account just to go into your VR. Maybe all that's a part of it. But
oh God, I hope not.
Yeah, well, you know that's a real thing right now, right? If you go and buy an Oculus Rift right now, the only way you can access it is to attach a Facebook account.
I haven't used Facebook in years. Rip my ambitions of Oculus.
Exactly. If you went, bro, I'm telling you. What's up, my mom D? What's good? But yeah, folks. So right now we just went off on a tangent talking about the new graphics cards, but now we're gonna roll over back into Epic Games. And Johnny, what's your thought on Epic Games and the new Empire?
Call me a bit skeptical and a bit cynical, but I would equate Epic Games' grand ambitions to the Germans of the World Wars. They had grand plans, but look what happened. That they went up against the allies of Google and Apple, and they didn't stand a chance. So I think that they have grand plans, and they're going to go after your hearts and minds, but ultimately they're going to get swat down. Like, I don't see them actually, like, fulfilling their ambitions.
No, Joe, they have not won already. So Johnny, this is what I think is going to happen, because the reason why this is so poetic is this is exactly what Apple did back in the day. This was the exact same path that Apple took to get to where they are. Exactly. I think because nowadays the court of public opinion weighs 10,000 times more. Let's say they do lose the lawsuit, they'll still win the people. The people nowadays.
By throwing out another hashtag?
Yes. It sounds so stupid, but it is so true. You officially are making the two prominent companies you're forcing them to be on their heels. And it's not even due to money, because clearly it's not money. It takes a lot for billionaires to go broke. They have to work very hard to go broke. All three companies have the money to duke it out in court for the next 10 years. They have that money. And then they'll get it back in lost revenue due to the court issues. They'll get it back in taxes next year. So court, it's not like me and you trying to fight Apple where they would just bury us in extensions and lawyer fees. They can't do that to this company. But what they're doing is exposing these practices, and whether or not they're legitimate, they make us think they're bad. So let's say the 30% thing is a very fair number, which we know it's not, because you got like credit card companies who only charge 3 to, I think, 5-6% max for transactions. And then here it is, you have Apple and Google charging 30. But let's say we didn't know all that. Let's say 30 was a safe general number, but they just want it lower for the sake of being lower. Because most general people do not know this and do not read past headlines, and here it is, you took the most popular game away from all these mobile platforms, you've instantly got the hardest. They became Robin Hood, bro, except they're dirty rich. And they're not giving money to the poor. Like,
yeah, I mean, let's not forget Robin Hood. He was an outlaw.
And he was rich.
he was a folk hero, but he was like on the wrong side of the law, and so
True.
is Epic. Unfortunately, I mean they
Yeah, they
did
broke.
break TOS.
Bro. Nobody's
That's
saying
how it all started.
exactly. But guess what,
But
though?
you would
Oh,
think like they've been like personally attacked, like that's how they're spinning it, and it's just
and
a
that's how it's being
it's
bought.
just like it is like I don't want to say like I'm more educated on the situation than anybody else. Like that's not a thing. Like I barely pay attention myself, but just like I see it as just like they're just trying to like I think they know they may not win, so they're just being like, well, if we're not going to win on the legal front, uh, you know what? Hashtag free Fortnite, and the masses will take care of it. But I mean,
Yes.
let's be real. Google and Apple are not going to back down to public pressure. Like
Now let
they're trillionaires.
Now, let me tell you what's going to happen. They will. And they're not going to back down due to public pressure. They're going to back down because through public pressure, along with these lawsuits, they're going to open up and show how Apple is the conglomerate monopoly and Google are the monopolies that they are. You not only are selling the product, you're selling the service, and then you're charging for the services being bought through your service. You own every avenue in order to do anything on this platform that's supposed to be quote unquote open through the internet.
Yeah.
That's where they're gonna lose. They're not, and then it's gonna be the public opinion behind it that's gonna make them look like bad guys. So even if they, let's say they got them down to hell, once again, like I'm thinking about that video you sent me. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not even. I don't even think they truly care about the 30%. I really think it's a matter of building that empire to compete and knock down those walls. And then in 15 years, we're going to see epic phones.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but that's exactly what Apple did. That's exactly what Apple did.
Yeah, that is true. But some what was I had an interesting thought. Oh no, I remember. Now, like people want to be like breaking down the monopolies, right? I mean, I think it's common knowledge that monopolies are not like super friendly, but
No, not at all.
if you remember, Netflix, they had the monopoly on like streaming platforms for the longest time, and everybody loved it. You know, people would complain that, you know, they, I don't know, raised like the fee up a bit, but like everybody still paid for it. And then look
Giovanni.
at streaming platforms now, just like 6 different platforms. Everything is fragmented, and like people are like, I don't want to pay for like 6 different services. So I feel like that's probably what's gonna happen. It's just gonna be like, all right, well, now there's 3 different app stores, 3 different like big, like I don't know, phone providers. Just like, no, just I just want my iPhone back, and let me download Fortnite on my iPhone. Like that's all I want. I don't want a revolution.
Got you. Let me tell you this. I think we're using the, like, I like what you guys, I feel like we're using the word monopoly in terms of like Netflix. I think we're using it loosely. Nobody was trying to compete because when I say monopoly, I'm talking about they're literally monopolizing the app store process. Why can't I create another app store? That, there you go. That's why their monopoly is a legal one. Netflix just had total control because nobody was trying to compete. And that people decided to start competing, and now everybody and their mom is competing. Hell, literally every channel that's a full-fledged national syndicated channel has their own app. Like, there's an app for Lifetime, there's an app for Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, any channel you can think of, a Home Shopping Network. Like, there's an app and a streaming service that goes along with it where you got to log in and control it. It's crazy. I do agree with you. It's crazy. But think about what's going on with Steam, Epic Store, GOG, Humble Bundle. Thank God that there's so much competition, because now before I purchase a game, I go look at 6 different stores, because I may save $5 and get a bonus. Like, I love buying from Humble Bundle, and I feel like because I have a Humble Bundle like partnership thing, not partnership, but I have a
Referral link.
A referral link. I feel like I have to say that I have that, because I don't know if I do, but I feel obligated to say that. But I I actually like the fact that I can go there, save a few bucks, and anytime I buy something, it goes to a charity. Boom. That's why if I can find it reasonably cheaper or same price, I go buy from Humble Bundle. You know what I mean? But that only comes with options and knocking down walls. Now, but I do get what you're saying, though. It is shady. Oh, the way they're doing it is 100% shady. Like, if that's what the big question is, whether or not what they're doing is wrong and how they're going about it is wrong, I say 1,000% it is. They're bullying the fact that they're leveraging the fact that they own the most popular downloaded game in the world. And you have, could you imagine being a parent of a kid who, like, under 10, who plays Fortnite on their cell phone and now they can't?
Yeah,
that I mean, sounds stressful as shit. I have 2 kids. That sounds super stressful. I couldn't imagine having to deal with my kids trying to figure out a way to play their favorite game because now it's not on the market.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people either have like a PlayStation or an Xbox though, if they're into games to begin with. Like if, like I know. But
once again, this is why I said kids.
Like there's people out there that only play on their phones.
True.
And no other console, but like I don't have numbers to like back it up, so I'm like spitballing here, but like I feel like that is significant, but not enough for people to seriously complain.
I'm telling you, bro. We're dealing with companies who all they do is deal with data on a heavy duty level. For them to put out the hashtag and them to take the time to create that commercial in-game engine, they knew what they were doing, and it wasn't an accident, and it was well timed and well thought out. They did that on purpose. Oh yeah,
they had that commercial ready before the thing even happened, right?
Oh yeah, because it was instant. It was absolutely instant. Welcome, Nito. And at the end of the day, the way they did it was dirty, but what they're doing is nothing new. It's just crazy to watch $3 billion and $1 trillion companies argue like they're all poor. And then pull at the heartstrings of the people. It's the craziest thing ever.
I mean, unless you've seen something I haven't, is Apple and Google saying like, "Oh, we don't make enough money"? Are they saying that? Like in this specific case?
I don't think so publicly, but the problem then becomes if we bend for them, we got to bend for all. So now you're killing a large chunk of your money, because we're just thinking in terms of Fortnite and Epic. If I find out that you just bent the knee for this company, it would be worth, like, and you get a mass exodus of smaller companies walking away from your app store, you're gonna have to bend the knee and adjust for everybody at some point, because otherwise you'll get a mass exodus to the other one. And then you know what you'll mess around and have is you'll mess around and have Google and Apple heavily competing with each other in terms of, oh well, they won't lower their 30, we'll give you 20 if you come here exclusively.
Yeah, that's I can.
It's shady. Yeah, it's shady as shit, but it's business. Like, it is super shady. But low key, this is kind of the stuff I always liked. I like the backroom dealings of it. I've always been interested. Like, how did they get here? How did you get to this point? How did? Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're all people, you know. So you got a bunch of rich people figuring out a way to pull the heartstrings of folks. Because I'm gonna be honest, they didn't have no plans of winning in court. That wasn't it. There's no way you don't outright break the contract with plans of winning. That's not what you're trying to do. And then you don't care to win or lose because you got the money to float the situation. What you're doing is you're opening them up and you're bullying your situation.
PR.
And we all know any news is better than no news.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that was deep. We went there, didn't we?
I know. And to think it was over something is and this all started over Fortnite.
Yeah, something I don't play because I'm terrible at it.
Well, it may have just been like the intended catalyst, but you know, by technically speaking, yeah. But I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
Maybe it's just me. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, it's probably not the most consumer friendly thing I've ever said in the world, considering like how much we've talked about stuff like this.
True.
before. But it's just like, I don't know. I'm more comfortable with the monsters you know than the monsters you don't know. So like
Mm.
Steam, all day. I'll bend the knee to Steam, but like not so much to Apple. I'm not a huge fan of Apple, but in this particular case, I feel like them and Google are in the right and should not back down. And like Epic is just kind of just trying to break the system and just for their own personal gain. It's not like they actually have like consumer friendly stuff in mind. It's just they just want a bigger piece of the pie. So like, I mean, why? Like, is there a particular reason to be like, oh yeah, Epic should definitely win, stick it to the man?
You know what's so funny? Like I said earlier, we are witnessing Apple all over again, and it wouldn't shock me in 10 to 15 years Epic having Epic phones. Epic phone. What is it called? Not an APK. Your phone. What is it? Your software, your user interface. I forget. Like how Google, Android has theirs, Apple has theirs. We're gonna get an Epic store. It's gonna be Epic phones or something. Whatever. It wouldn't shock me because that's the natural progression. You're going down a you already took over the gaming situation. You're competing at a high scale. You're getting us but rolling over because I feel like I'm saying what I said already. What if Epic Games is becoming, what if they're leading the trend of consumer friendliness? This is something I didn't plan on talking about. I totally forgot about it. But thinking about Microsoft, how, like, rolling over into Microsoft, that was a weird segue, but we're here. Microsoft is coming out as the most consumer friendly group right now. If you really think about it, Game Pass Ultimate is the best deal out in terms of gaming. You get, for what is it, like $20, $15 a month? It's not even $20 a month, $15 a month. You get access to over 100 games on PC, 100 games plus on console, and you get Xbox Live with Gold for free. Well, on top of that, and you get the games with Gold, which are trash, but you get those. And you get a seamless interface between your PC and your Xbox console for $15 a month. Like, I haven't felt the urge to buy a game in a long time because of Game Pass. Like, and then you get day one for free. You get day one for free all the Xbox Studio games day one. What's so bad is, in terms of seeing like a crazy change and shift in market, I personally feel my hot take in terms of the new consoles, we are witnessing Blockbuster versus Netflix all over again. I truly believe that. I'll die on that hill until I'm proven wrong. We are seeing it. You have PlayStation, who has a very similar streaming service in PlayStation Now, but they don't put it on the forefront. Their user interface sucks. The store sucks. There's proof of that. There was a guy who had a game creator. He went to search his brand new game on the PlayStation Store, and even after typing in the entire name of this brand new game that was on the PlayStation Store, he had to scroll all the way down the list just to get to his brand new game that's released on the console. That's a bad store setup.
Yeah. What was above it though?
Everything else, movies, TV shows, like, it was bad. Like, and he did it all on video, and it's on Twitter. Like, it was bad. Like, if I was looking for the game, I would have thought it wasn't on there.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
It's not optimized. So here it is. Your store's not optimized. Your streaming service is not optimized. But what you are working on is you're working on your namesake, because you do own the market 2-1 in the U.S. for sure. You outsold the console. You got the name base. You got a crazy fan base that's willing to die for you for some odd reason. And now you're really pissing off people because you're starting to put your exclusive games on PC. You're doing all these things, right? But then you're settled in that, and then you already tell us that this next console, you're not focusing on your streaming. It's all brick and mortar. It's all like, hey, yeah, we got digital content, but it's not a streaming package. You still need to pay your $70 because they're really pushing that new price point for your games. You know, they're not being consumer friendly. Now, roll over. You're looking at Microsoft, right? They're sitting here. They're like, okay, buy our console if you want. Personally, I don't think Microsoft is trying to sell the console. That's another hot take. I don't think they're trying to sell it. I wonder if they even have 1 million units ready to go. Like, it wouldn't shock me if they only had like 500,000 because they don't plan on selling them. Like, I think they're going to be dusty in-store shelves. What they are trying to sell is Game Pass. They want you on Game Pass. They want you to use your current setup. They want you to use xCloud, and they want you to use Game Pass. That's what they are selling. And what's further proof of that, did you guys realize that they're opening up the Tokyo Game Show? They get an hour at the Tokyo Game Show. When has Microsoft ever done well in Japan? Never. The console's too bulky, and they're heavily rooted in Sony. So, but for them to be, and then from what I heard from Level 1 Gaming, much love to the team over there, shout out to those guys, they don't, PlayStation's not even going to be at the Tokyo Game Show. What planet are we on? What is up with 2020?
Is it that they're just resting on the laurels, just like,
yes,
we got Japan locked down?
And once again, that's why I believe we are looking at Blockbuster and Netflix all over again for those reasons.
Yeah, I guess so. Man,
He said, I guess so.
I'm just like so out of it. Like I've like, I know you focus on the new console war very closely. And I mean,
it's kind of like my job now. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, but like, which is why we called ourselves the StarCrossed gamers. Like, you have a pretty good rig now, but you know, you're still very heavily involved in consoles. I haven't even turned on my Xbox in months. Just like, to compare that, I'm just like full PC. It's just like completely different. Just like things to pay attention to. But like, my hot take, even if it is one, is what if Microsoft doesn't like care about the console, because they weren't even they didn't even want to make a new console. They just had to put one out there to compete with 5.
Ooh, what's up, Danny Ocean? That's a good name. That was Ocean's 13 was a dope movie too. Ocean's 11, all of them. But hey, that's dope, bro. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like you said,
that makes more sense
on Game Pass and stuff. It's just like, oh crap, we have to put one out, you know. So just, you don't push it, make it cheap. People will probably buy it, but just like Game Pass, like that is our focus.
Whoa, that is an angle that makes more sense. Like, they were only released, like if Sony wouldn't have came out with a new system, Xbox wouldn't have worked on a new one.
Yeah, and that's why Sony's so scared. They're just like, oh no, they don't actually want to compete.
Ooh, don't get me started on that. You know, I think Sony is shook. I personally think Sony is absolutely terrified of Microsoft, and what trips. This is the only thing that gives me some type of interest in the Xbox Series X. Not anything Xbox has showed me. Nothing they have showed me makes me interested in it. What makes me interested in the Xbox Series X is how scared and quiet and shook Sony is moving. Sony is moving like Xbox has been a big, major, absolute powerhouse competition, and they haven't. You don't outsell somebody 2-1 and call them a major competition. You call them your closest competition.
Yeah, I mean, they're really like the only competitor.
Like, dude, they're the only competitor, but dude, you got the big nuts right now. You're in control. You have a fan base that will die for you. Sony, the PlayStation fanboys are hardcore.
I know they are.
Yeah, they're hardcore. You got fanboys who are ready to mount up at any. They've already said it. Oh, that's another thing. They've taken polls, many game sources. People are willing to pay any price. People were ready to pay upwards of $800+ for the new PlayStation. They've already said it. They've already said it. But why? Knowing that you got your thumb on the pulse, and people are telling you, just give us the console and the price, we're ready. They're telling you this, and you still haven't done it. What do you know that we don't? Much love to Rings. Shout out to I Am Rings. He actually brought up a point that he thinks that, or at least he brought it up to me, that he thinks they got a hold of a dev kit, and it got him shook.
Ooh.
Yeah. He was like, because what else would make you pause? So, like, bro, let's be real here. Sony's confidence, Sony's fan base right now, if PlayStation came out with a PS4 portable or pocket version, not pocket version, but like one of the minis like they used to do with the old school PS2s, if they came out with something like that right now, people would buy it, even though we know there's a PlayStation 5 coming out.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely that group of people out there that just buy anything.
And I feel like it's a big enough group to where they could comfortably come out with a mini PS4. PS4 Go. Something like that. PS4 Mini. I really think it sounds stupid and it sounds absolutely crazy, but I can see them doing it. And I can see it being semi-successful.
I mean, they have done it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too small.
Yeah, how many iterations of the PlayStation 3 were there? You had the Grand Key Piano one. Then you had the PlayStation 3 Slim, I believe. Then you had the one with the slide top.
A lot of PlayStations.
It was a lot of them. I want to say there was about 4 different versions of the PlayStation 3, and if you guys are listening, correct me in the comments or in the chat. But yeah, I remember like people have done it. And actually, no lie, with this current generation, that actually really scared me. I thought we weren't ever, like, I wasn't necessarily looking for a new console. I just felt they were going to constantly be slowly adding a little better piece of technology, putting it in a whole new case, and then charging us full price. Like, I didn't think we would end with Xbox One X. I thought that was going to be, like, the beginning.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I really did.
That's something I realized. It's like they don't really tout the specs of consoles as much as they do on PC.
No, they don't. And I think it's because you get a static gameplay, or at least that's what you used to get. Well, you buy one console and, let me put on my old man pants and my, get on my glasses and my what are they, my corn cob pipe. Back in my day, you bought a console and everybody played at the same graphical level, and that was it. But now you got,
there was no sliders.
Yeah, there was no sliders, but now there's sliders, and they've really made it to where, depending on how much you have in your pocket, is how good your gaming experience will be. Which is weird, because that's not very consumer friendly.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like a case. Well, in terms of just like pure graphics, it's like, you get as good as you pay for.
But that's what's supposed to make console games different from PC. Like, that's the...
Yeah.
And me saying that, only reason I say that is because that's what's supposed to make console games. I buy it, I pick it up, I don't have to worry about going and buying a new SSD card to make my new Xbox run better, because now I might as well buy a PC.
Yeah, that's true. And you did buy a PC.
And I bought that. Real talk, only reason I've been turning on my Xbox is to review games and to put on Netflix for my kids while I'm playing on my PC.
Yeah, look at that. Like, you're turning into a PC player just like me.
Bro, I'm still hooked on console controllers. Like I love controllers. It's been
Oh
so
yeah.
much it's been so much of my life. Like if I can run a controller, I usually do. Like even when I play Road Company, I play with a controller. And I do all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Uh,
But
go go ahead.
what was I about to say? But I was just gonna like throw out the disclaimer, just like, because I know how I probably sound, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, wow, you really don't like PlayStation, huh? But like, I don't know, I just like I grew up with Xboxes. Like I had each set, like I had the original Xbox, and I had a 360, and I had a One. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just maybe I really am just like a brand loyalist, but I don't know. I don't know. I really don't seem to mind. I don't even see like the huge difference in the two, anyways. Like
Ah,
they just get it just kind of seems like, well, I like doesn't one have like 60 FPS and the other one doesn't or something, but just
let
like
me Oh, go ahead.
just by and large, like the only real difference I see is just like it's just like the style of game I think is like the huge difference. Like PlayStation has like the more cinematic games, like Last of Us or whatever, but like
Mhm.
I don't know, Xbox has games like Halo, which are just like fun bro games or something. I don't know.
Got you.
I
Hey,
think it's just like a whole different culture as opposed to like I don't know, actual like technical specs and superiority and stuff like that. I think it's just like a cultural thing. It's fueling the wars.
true. I know for me, were you done? I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad, bro.
Yeah, I'm dead. Go for it.
Okay. Me, when it comes to the console differences, always owning both. Like I've always been in a situation where I've had both consoles. Um, I can say that I hate the user interface, the main menu and all that on the PlayStation 4. I absolutely hate it. I probably wouldn't hate it if I only had that because once again, what you know is what you know. But the
Hmm.
simplicity and user friendliness of Xbox is menu and whatnot and store and this and that is so much simpler. Um, it's the comparison is night and day, but I will say a lot of games do look better to me just because everything I talk about is pure. I try to talk from a perspective of practicality, not necessarily. I'm not a technical junkie. Like me
No.
talking tech specs, it's more of does it work? Can it work? How does it feel? Okay. Like I'm not gonna sit here and talk about threads and this and that and oh well if you had 4 gigs more of RAM this would have been the frame rates the da 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 and the motion blur and blah, blah. Like I'm not really that's not me that's I've never really cared about that too much, but I can say just pure eye test knowing no technical terms or no exacts running Destiny on PlayStation is smoother than running it on Xbox. Running No Man's Sky, which it was optimized for PlayStation, so it's kind of an unfair comparison, but running No Man's Sky on PlayStation is a lot better than running it on Xbox. But me playing Call of Duty on Xbox and adding a friend to the game is a million creating a party and adding the party to the game is a million times easier on Xbox than it is on PlayStation. I know a lot of people who run PlayStation and what they have to do in order to get a seamless situation, and a lot of them do this, is they run the PlayStation app on their phone as they're gaming.
Oh snap.
That is a common thing. Like I didn't think it was. I thought that my friend was just being super technical. Shout out to T Jones, our silent ex assassin. He doesn't like that name, but we're gonna definitely make that his name. Um, he I thought it was just something he did because he was a hardcore player, but no, that is a very common thing of people, at least from what I've heard and surveyed. You know, I could be completely wrong. Maybe I'm just around a bunch of hardcore PlayStation players. But most people run the app because it's a seamless, easier process. But with Xbox, I don't have to leave my controller in order to do everything I want to do, from starting a party, inviting my party to the game, changing games. Um, it's a fast process.
Yeah, it's pretty sad if you have to use your phone to make it easy.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat or the comments, guys. Like, you know, I'm if anything we're wrong about, please let us know. I don't want to be sitting here spewing crap. And there's some
Except for me,
problem.
I'm never wrong.
Right?
Yeah,
But
but yeah,
we're getting to the
go ahead.
final minutes, and I want to talk about Planet Side.
Yeah, we need to wrap up on that.
Folks, I'm gonna give a quick introduction. I don't know none of the technical terms. I don't even know the origin and history of the game. I just know that playing Planet Side 2 because my first time playing it was last night when I streamed it, and I think I played it for like 3 or 4 hours.
Hmm.
I was immediately reminded of Battlefield mixed with Mag. Now, for those who don't know what Mag was a game that was on PlayStation where it was one of the first games I played where it had online like 200 people live. It was like 100 on 100. Um, and it was a big battlefield split up into subsections. And like you could go do missions at one place, and while you're on a mission, if you wanted to, you could run to a whole nother area of the map and go fight and this, that, and the third. So this reminded me heavily of that. The gun mechanics feel good, they feel fair. I'm not over here feeling like, even though I'm not getting a mass amount of kills, I'm having fun, and it's scratching that Battlefield itch because I really do want a modern, not modern times outside of musket and musket and gunpowder. Like, no, I want a modern game, a modern Battlefield, and this is probably the closest I'll get anytime soon.
Yeah, I definitely like because I've been playing it a whole bunch, and I just kind of persuaded him to do it and telling him it's like sci-fi Battlefield was my pitch, and I guess it was enough for him to get hooked. But it's a very intriguing game. Like it's been out since like 2012, so clearly it's been around the block for a while. So I mean, clearly people like it, right? If it's still going, and I mean, the fun thing is it's still being updated to this day. Like, if I were to pull up Steam Workshop, or not Steam Workshop, just like the Steam main page, you'll see that they're talking about a new update coming out like soon. So like, it's still being worked on and stuff. It's not just like stagnant, just people playing on the servers. It's like actually still being developed, which is really cool.
It's, dude, I'm telling you, I'm truly I'm enjoying it. Like it,
I'm glad.
the sniping mechanics are dope. I usually try to run like I consider myself the RPG gamer. That's my handle, the RPG gamer BaronJ67. That's what I focus on. So when I play first person shooters, especially with when there is classes, I tend to play to my class and I try to stick to it as best I can. So I was running medic, engineer, sniper. That's what I was running while we were playing Planet Side 2. What's up, Maria? And it felt good. Like I felt like the abilities that were for each group fit. Nothing felt out of place. I didn't feel like I didn't have the proper weapon sets that made sense. And it was really, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
it's definitely one of those games where it's just like, wow, it's just like it's so well put together. Like, you got your planes, you got your tanks, you got, like what is it, like 6 or 7 different classes of soldiers you can play. It's just like so many like different ways of playing, and it works in tandem with everything else going on. Like, as you said, you were playing a sniper and a medic, and uh, if you were doing one thing, I was just doing the other. So like, you were sniping on like that one platform or whatever, and I just kind of kept rezzing you
Yeah,
because some other sniper kept taking you out. Uh, so like it all works. Like there was like no limitations as to what we couldn't do. Although
and
I
it,
will just say that last night I did get blue screened by somebody that was not very
yeah.
happy.
Johnny is officially the better streamer than I'll ever be because he was what's the term?
Like DDoSed.
Yeah, he was DDoSed, man. They blue screened him. They just overloaded his whole setup because he was putting in that much work while streaming.
I know.
Um, and folks, we are getting to the final minute. So give me your final thoughts, Johnny. What's going on?
My final thoughts is that it's a wild and turbulent time for gaming, both in the big courtrooms and in your wallets. So,
Oof.
my thoughts are to, you know what, just buy whatever you want. Like, don't like stress over specs or like the track records of like consoles in comparison to other consoles. Just buy what you want. Like, ultimately, it's down to just user preference as opposed to anything else. So, bam, be you, be free.
And to piggyback on that, remember you vote with your wallet as well as your actual ballot vote. But when you what you buy and what you spend your money on is what people continue to do. That's why microtransactions still are around. That's why pre-orders and the pre-order crap and breaking up games from their entirety down to the small little DLC crap that we got now is because we vote with our pocket. So I'm BaronJ67.
And I am Johnnyman.
Much love. This is StarCrossed Gamers. Peace.
Goodbye, everybody.